Imagine waking up tomorrow. Every dating app has disappeared. No Tinder, no Instagram, no texting, no cafes, no bars, no cities, no way to meet strangers online. How would you find the person you'd spend your life with? It sounds almost impossible, but for almost all of human history, this was completely normal. Ancient humans had none of those things, yet they still fell in love. They formed families, raised children, and built entire societies. So, how did they do it? The answer begins with one surprising fact. Ancient humans didn't live alone. They lived in small communities, usually between 20 and 50 people. Everyone knew everyone else. You grew up together, worked together, hunted together, shared food together. These weren't strangers. They were your entire world, which creates an obvious question. If everyone already knew everyone, where did new partners come from? Surely people didn't marry only within their own camp. That would create serious problems. And ancient humans understood that. So they came up with a remarkable solution, one that connected entire communities. Several times each year, something extraordinary happened. Small bands came together, sometimes dozens of families gathered, from many different regions. These weren't random meetings. People had gathered this way for generations. Some came to trade, others came to celebrate. Many came to strengthen old friendships. Stories were shared, songs filled the air, dances lasted long into the night. Children played together. Hunters compared their skills. Families exchanged valuable knowledge. New tools changed hands. Rare stones were traded. Beautiful shells traveled hundreds of miles, but those weren't the most valuable exchanges. People were. These gatherings created new relationships. Old friends met again, and strangers became familiar faces. For young adults, this was a rare opportunity to meet people outside their own group, someone with different experiences, different skills, and a different family. These connections mattered, not just for love, but for survival. New partnerships linked different communities. They created trust between groups, making future cooperation much easier. But meeting someone was only the beginning. Choosing the right partner was even more important. So what made someone a good partner? It wasn't just appearance. Survival came first. Every choice had consequences. A dependable partner meant a stronger future, someone who shared food, worked hard, and stayed loyal to the group. Those qualities earned respect, long before anyone spoke of romance. A skilled hunter gained attention, not because of trophies, because everyone knew he could provide. A skilled gatherer was equally valuable. She knew where food could always be found. She recognized edible plants, and dangerous ones too. Knowledge could save lives. Kindness mattered as well. So did generosity. Someone who never shared quickly earned a bad reputation. Everyone in camp noticed. Remember, these communities were very small. You couldn't hide your behavior. People watched you grow up. They knew your character. Your reputation traveled with you, even between neighboring groups. Trust became incredibly valuable because raising children required teamwork. No one survived completely alone. A reliable partner strengthened the whole community. But one important decision usually wasn't made by just two people. Their families had a voice too, and sometimes the entire community did. Finding a partner wasn't only a personal choice, it affected the entire community. Every new relationship created new alliances between families, and sometimes between entire groups. That's why older members often became involved, not to control every decision, but to offer guidance. They had years of experience. They knew each family's reputation, who could be trusted, who kept their promises, and who caused conflict. Their advice carried real weight because a poor partnership could weaken the entire group, but a strong one made everyone safer. Many cultures also exchanged gifts, not to buy a husband or wife, but to build trust. A carefully crafted spear, a rare shell necklace, beautiful animal hides, or valuable stone tools. These gifts carried meaning. They showed respect and a willingness to cooperate. Relationships were built slowly, not in a single afternoon. People observed each other over time, during hunts, around the campfire, while sharing food, and during seasonal gatherings. Actions mattered more than promises, because anyone could make a promise. But only time revealed true character. But here's where the biggest myth begins. Many people imagine prehistoric relationships as chaotic and random, but the evidence suggests otherwise. Ancient humans valued stability, especially when raising children, because children needed years of care, much longer than most animals. One parent alone often wasn't enough. Grandparents helped, brothers and sisters helped, friends helped. The entire community played a role. Anthropologists call this cooperative parenting. It helped children survive and strengthened social bonds. Love may have brought two people together, but community helped keep them together. Of course, every culture was different. There wasn't one universal tradition. Some societies allowed more personal choice. Others gave families a larger role. Some practiced monogamy, others followed different customs. Human societies have always been diverse. But one thing rarely changed. Trust was priceless. Without trust, no relationship could survive for long. And without cooperation, neither could the community. Which leads to one final question. Were ancient humans really so different from us? Or have our priorities stayed surprisingly similar? The answer might change the way you see human history. The truth is, ancient humans weren't so different from us. They laughed, they formed friendships, they experienced heartbreak, and they fell in love. But their world shaped those relationships. There were no dating profiles, no carefully edited photos, no instant messages. People judged you by your actions, not by what you claimed online. Your reputation took years to build, and only one mistake to damage. Trust had to be earned, not with words, but with consistent behavior. If you cared for others, people remembered. If you were selfish, people remembered that too. In a small community, your character was impossible to hide. Perhaps that's the biggest difference. Today, technology helps people meet. Back then, communities brought people together. Today, a first impression can be made in seconds. Ancient humans had months, sometimes years, to learn who someone truly was. Different world, different customs, but the same human emotions. The desire to belong, to be trusted, and to build a life with someone.